Welcome back to the channel, everybody, for Group 3 Aurie Star Day at Flemington. It looks an absolute cracking card. A couple that are hard to beat, and a couple that get in with no weight and also looking hard to beat on this card. Hopefully we can find some winners, and hopefully we can see some good horses returning. Race number 1 at Flemington is a benchmark 84 handicap of the 25-20 metres, and I've got Our Chief on top. I think that this horse is hard to beat, coming off a win last Saturday. He looked quite impressive there. He was racing very well prior to that in the 3-year-old series through the series to the Mahogany Challenge final. Didn't actually go to the final off the top of my memory, but was against the horses that did and ran really well. Got the win out of the way. A well-deserved win last start, and was very good, beating Engine of War, and I think can go on with it here. Nyako Fraud in for second. This horse has to come up in grade from his last 2 wins, but they have been over the staying trip and on heavy ground, so has to do it on dry ground, up in grade, and at Saturday Metro level. So there's a few things that I've got that I think that he needs to find. Stop the Rock in for third. He's a good horse and he's been racing well. First time at the over the extended trip here at the 25-20, and I think can run well. In Black Run coming out of the Flemington Cup in for fourth. But Our Chief on top in race number 1. Race number 2 at Flemington is the 3-year-old handicap over the 1,000 metres for the 3-year-olds, newly turned 3-year-olds on Saturday, and I've got Hearts Affair on top. I think that this race is significantly. I think Rubare's favourite is significantly under the odds, and I think he'd have to lift to win, considering he's in winning form, but in much weaker grade. And I like Hearts Affair. Waterhouse and Bott bring this horse south off a dominant maiden win at Kembla Grange. It's a big straight at Kembla Grange, so I'm hoping that the straight won't be too much of an issue. And his father, Home Affairs, actually won quite a few races up the straight, being a Coolmore and a Lightning. So I don't think the straight will be an issue at all. And hopefully at $9 he can score the Chocolates. Euro Canto in for second, who's obviously the class in the race and will handle the straight. I just don't. I think he won on debut, and then his next preparation he was just too much of a colt. They've gelded him back into this preparation. He can run really well here. Rebel Tuesday is the one that I think will be screaming home. Comes out of the fillies grade, and has to do it against the boys. But I think will be well suited here and will be charging home in Santa Barbara. Didn't mind the jump out to this horse and can run well here. Hearts Affair for me. Race number 3 at Flemington is a benchmark 100 over the 2,000 metres at handicap level, and I've got See That Storm on top. And I think that this horse is hard to beat, considering there's a lot of these who are out of form and aren't racing well. This horse is up to the 2,000 metres, back on dry ground with the rail in the 10-metre position and can go forward. I think it's a lot in this horse's favour to see what this horse has got and finally see what they've purchased, being the owners of this international, and I think we can see an improved performance. Smoke and Romans in for second, who's obviously one of the ones to beat coming out of the last start. Flemington races, a lot of these do. It was very game up on speed and will run well again here. Glory Days comes last start, ran in the Smoke and Romans race, as I previously mentioned. It was good there, didn't get a lot of luck late, and prior to that won a listed race in Sydney, so has to be considered here. And Star of India was poking through there at Flemington and ran really well, but did no work. But I think See That Storm is the one to beat race 3 Flemington. Race number 4 at Flemington is the Victoria Jockeys Association Trophy at benchmark 74 level over the 14-10 metres, and I am with Carhoff, and this is my best bet of the day. I think that this horse will absolutely bolt in. Very confident on this one. Ran second to Keen Enough 2 starts ago. Beat that horse comfortably last start. He'll settle up on speed, like I said previously, in the rail with a 10-metre position. I think that this horse will either lead, kick and win, get a bunny, chase it home, and just go bang right over the top, and I'm quite confident that this horse will be winning. Fino Evil in for second. Comes out of the same race as Carhoff and gets 2.5 kilos on Carhoff from him. Carhoff defeating him last start, I think it was the start prior actually. Anyway, will run well here and can go forward. Dark Bonnie is the one that I'm petrified of in this race, considering that this horse went to a benchmark 100 last preparation, at the end of its preparation, and can run really well here with Mark Zara booked. But my one query was from the outside draw, how much work is he going to have to do, and how much of a start, or then if he goes back, how much start does he concede the 2 likely the front runners in the race, and Surreal AM in for fourth. Carhol for me, my best bet of the day. Race number 5 at Flemington is a benchmark 78 handicap over the 14-10 metres, and I've got Stealth of Night on top. I think this horse is hard to beat considering it's back onto dry ground, second up, should go forward. At its best, we know how good this horse is. Got all the way out to the 80 and a benchmark 84 last start, and was 3 and 4 wide first up in its race there. So I think can run really well here and win. Stage and Screen is the one who is massively over the odds. Back on dry ground, up to the 1400 metres, hard fit. $17 is way over the odds. Salazu was impressive winning last start. Has a good record to its name now. 3 from 4, and I think can run well here again. And Silent Shares has to come up in grade from winning last start during the midweeks. It has to do it at Saturday level, but this mare is absolutely flying and could produce a run here. But I'm with Stealth of Night in race 5. Hopefully the class comes to the 4. Race number 6 at Flemington is a benchmark 84 handicap over the 16-20 metres, and I am with Touchdown on top. Blake Shin looking to get a win on his returning race day, and I think this is the horse that'll give it to him. Looks to be hard to beat off his last preparation. Looks like he needs an aggressive rider. Gets that in Blake Shin. Should be somewhere towards the front half of the field. Probably 1 out, 1 back ideally, because we know that this horse goes forward, and if he gets that position, he just won't get beat. It's simple as that. And if he turns up at his best, I think he'll just win. This is the run of the race last start behind Carhoff, who I think will win earlier in the day. So it all points to a touchdown win here for mine. Chocolate's in for second. This horse is racing really well. Had no luck last start late in the piece and was racing really well prior to that. Comes back in grade and back in distance to the 1600 metres and to the benchmark 84 after last start, contesting a benchmark 100 if I can get my words out. Callio has been running really well, winning, and James Johnson has really formed an association with this horse that could take it a long way. But the query is it closer to the end of its preparation than the beginning? That's the only query I've got, but still will run well and unbelievable. I would watch out for this horse late. He'll be screaming home, and I think that this horse will have 2,000 metres plus written all over him, hitting the line, because I think will attack it. But touchdown for me in race 6. It just looks his race. Race number 7 at Flemington is the Group 3 Aurie Star over the 1,200 metres, and I'm very excited to see what War Machine can do here. If he turns up at his best, they won't beat him. It's as simple as that. He's a Group 1 winner, multiple stakes performed horse. He won the Gill Guy first up, or last time he was first up when he was racing well. And I think that he can perform quite dominantly here. He beat Star Patrol that day. He's beaten Arkansas Kid before. And Indola isn't good enough. Neither is the rest of this field. It's all about one horse, and that's War Machine. If he turns up, like I said, to his best, he wins. Simple. And Blake Shin actually rode Arkansas Kid, War Machine, and Star Patrol in all their recent jump outs. And he's chosen to ride War Machine, and that's a big push for mine. Blake Shin on War Machine. Indola won the listed race last start. The name escapes me off the top of my head. Can run really well here, getting in well at the weight. Star Patrol, we know where he'll be up on speed, punching along and hopefully looking to hold on. And Arkansas Kid will be flying home late for Mark Zara. But War Machine for mine, like I've said, best horse in the race, and hopefully he proves it. Race number 8 at Flemington is the benchmark 100 over the 1,410 metres, and I've got the progressive filly now mare, will be on Saturday, Sassapeel on top. This horse is getting in with absolutely no weight on the back with the 51.5 kilos, goes for dry ground, rail 10 metres. I can see why she's favourite. I honestly think she's going to bolt in here. There's an article up on racing.com today that she's actually quite forward for this run, being third up into the Rupert Clark. So I think I think she can win with she's got having no weight on the back, if I can get my words and think properly. And look, she's only been defeated once in her career, and that was in her first start at the races at her maiden, and should have won that day. So I think it's all about one horse again here, and that's Sassapeel. Rise at Dawn, we know how good he is. He will go forward, but he's got the outside draw. So does he sit off Sassapeel, or does he go forward and Sassapeel gets onto his back. It's going to be interesting tactics early on which horse leads. Either way, I still think Sasapila win. Duchess, who has been the final, the winner, racing really well under James Johnson and Kieran Marr, and Coeur Volant in for fourth, who's a mare in form but might prefer the track to be a bit more rain affected. But Sasapila for mine in race 8 looks to be the class and hopefully gets it done. Race number 9 at Flemington to finish the day is a benchmark 78 over the 1100 metres, and I've got Naval Academy on top. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say, that this horse is out of form, he's not racing well. There's a big thing here. He's back on dry ground. He gets a senior in the saddle. Yes, he's got to carry the weight, but he's well suited at this level. He's been down the straight once, and it was a very good run. I think that where a couple of these will be charging forward, he can be right up there, getting a bunny to follow, peel off, and just go bang. Hopefully makes his run before, just like Gabby, because obviously she'll be charging home. But she's got no weight, but there's a reason for that. She's up in grade and has to do it here. Along the river in for fourth, I think can run really well. Was very good last start and winning. I thought he was the value selection last start, and he was. He actually dead heated with Prima Bella. I'm pretty sure it was Prima Bella, and ran really well there over the 1,000 metres. The crew here is he's up to the 1,100 metres and back onto a dry track, which may suit him, may not. I'm not sure, but the 1,100 metres was the big query, and Charmed Run will be the one that's also charging home and could snag it at $23. This is one of the hardest races of the day, but I'm with Naval Academy in the last for Ethan Brown. Thank you for watching my preview for Group 3 Aurie Star Day. It's going to be an absolute cracking day. We're going to see some very good horses coming back, and hopefully we see some dominant performances of some horses that should absolutely be trotting in. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week for the preview. Bye.